talk from you on the behalf of the express and gratitude. The next person is Mr. Johnson George on cultivate a sense of belongingness. Go to Johnson.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, audible, and screen is also.
Screen is visible. Good evening to all. Thank you for inviting me on this panel to be a resource speaker. Thank you, Dr. Kumardat. Very good initiative. And wishing all the teachers on the panel here happy Teachers' Day in advance. My name is Johnson George, and I'm going to speak about the seventh characteristic that Robert Walker described, that is the cultivating a sense of belonging as one of the characteristics of an effective teacher. And this topic is very, very important in the sense that the sense of belonging cannot be taught outside the school. I, as a corporate trainer, I do train on soft skills, and one of the areas that I train very, very often in many organizations, hospitals or any industry, is a behavioral correction based on diversity and inclusion. And today, the United Nations and all other countries have taken this topic as most crucial for the success of any organization. And this begins in the school, because they are under the care in their formative years. Okay, and they look upon the teachers as the model and the authority figures. I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. And as Robert Walker put it into 2 points, and I'll expand this subsequently. He says that the most effective teachers have a way of making students feel welcome, feel comfortable in their classrooms, and that's most important. Students repeatedly mentioned that they felt as though they belonged in classrooms taught by effective teachers. And the students knew that they had a good teacher who loved teaching and preferred it to other occupations. So I've taken up some of the studies by Kelly Ann on how to boost students of belongingness in a school. How strongly a student feels like they belong at their school can actually shape their life, and shape their life well into adulthood. That's a big problem today in most of the corporate areas. So how can teachers and schools help students feel like they belong? So let's look at a couple of strategies as we move along. Friends, belonging is a fundamental human need wherever you go. Learners also need that kind of belonging, the feeling of belonging. Yet, unfortunately, research says 1 in 4 students around the world do not feel a sense of belonging to their school. And the numbers are sadly, steadily increasing. The impact of this can be huge, not just on a student's academic achievements, but on their overall well-being as adolescents and later as adults. With the rate of mental illness, disconnection, social isolation, and loneliness among young people rising steadily, and you can look at a lot of incidents that are happening in the news today. Fostering a sense of belonging at school, right from the kindergarten, nursery level, may help provide a critical solution to a complex social problem later. Kathleen Ethier So the director of Adolescent and School Health Center for Disease Control in the United States, she puts it that the work that we do in school, particularly in terms of making students feel more connected, feel safer, feel like the adults around them care for them, about them, and want to see them succeed. All of these factors, all of these individual factors has impacts well into their adulthood. So we see belonging starts at school and starts with teachers. So the importance of school belonging. Let's look at a couple of points here. A sense of belonging at school can support students through a particularly vulnerable time when they are forming their identity, when they are developing psychosocial skills and being influenced by their peers. This is their formative years, like I told you earlier. It can also shape their future interactions, their future relationships and achievements, and their ability to function and adjust on a psychosocial level well into adulthood. Research shows feeling like you belong at school is linked to higher levels of student emotional and physical well-being, and therefore better academic performance and achievement. It is positively associated with optimism, self-efficacy, self-esteem, self-concept, and sociability. It can reduce the likelihood of mental health problems, promote resilience when mental health difficulties arise, and reduce suicidal thoughts and behavior. So what are the effects of a lack of belonging? Students who feel that they do not belong to their school are more likely to miss school. So you have absenteeism. It can reduce the likelihood of mental health problems, promote resilience when mental health difficulties arise. They behave in ways that are not congruent with successful academic outcomes. They leave school early, the dropouts, and are at greater risk of school-based violence. I'm sure many of you may have experienced this and have seen in the news about such violences. They are also more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and have suicidal thoughts. A low sense of attachment to schools can also increase the academic achievement gap, particularly for the most vulnerable students, including indigenous students, different castes, students from low socioeconomic backgrounds, etc. Students lacking a sense of belonging are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. So, how do we help students feel greater connection to their school? Most schools value and prioritize a sense of belonging within their community and want their students to feel connected to their school. However, there have been few opportunities for schools to access focused interventions and strategies to help maintain and increase the student belonging. There is no one strategy or intervention that fosters school belongingness in students. It is unique and individual and can occur in multiple ways within a school. Here's where creativity comes about. Schools should tackle belonging using a whole school approach that incorporates a range of measures that help to build collaborative and inclusive communities for learning and for belonging. So let's look at a few strategies. First one is to encourage positive relationships with teachers and school staff. Students should be encouraged to have at least one supportive adult within their school environment, someone who they know, like, and have a safe, mutually respectful, and supportive relationship with. Some of the schools have counselors for this. Not just academic support, but emotional support as well, very much needed today. The relationships students have at school are important. Students build relationships with all school staff and sometimes have more regular contact with staff who don't teach in the classroom. And you know who all they are. They could be. It could be a librarian. It could be a peon. It could be a counselor, anyone. Create a positive peer culture of belonging. The second point. Peer groups matter for them. A sense of belonging towards school or even not belonging towards school can be contagious. Schools that have students with high sense of belonging create a school culture where a sense of school belonging is the norm. They offer school-sanctioned activities and events that promote the school's ethos and values, and these usually are well attended. Schools need supportive leaders that can clearly communicate the value in school belonging. They should have policies that promote inclusive school environments as places to belong. Expectations of behaviors that foster a sense of belonging for others should run alongside other school-based expectations of behavior. Teaching such behaviors from the day that the students start school, right from nursery, is very, very, very important and crucial. Teaching students social and emotional skills can also contribute to a culture of belonging. Such skills allow students to develop and grow skills that foster a sense of belonging for self and others at school. So therefore, schools should have policies that promote inclusive school environments as places to belong. The third one is value learning. Students with a high sense of school belonging value learning, are highly motivated academically, and can see the importance and value in what they learn. Teachers can help this process by ensuring they are emphasizing the importance and purpose of the material they present to students. Have reasonable and appropriate academic expectations of students within their care, and have self-efficacy, confidence, and passion towards the content they are teaching. The fourth step is to take proactive steps towards mental health. Sorry. All school staff should consider professional development that provides them with the skills to be preventative and responsive to the mental health and well-being needs of the students. Staff should have basic skills to identify problems as they arise and know appropriate referral pathways. Here, relationships are the key. If school staff genuinely know students as individuals, they are more equipped to detect minor nuances that could indicate problems may be occurring, something like an early warning system, such as absence in class or changes in behavior. Proactive and preventative steps can be put in place before bigger problems emerge. And the fifth one is don't neglect the parents and guardians. Parents have an important role in school communities. However, their perceptions of school and education and how they value and support their child's educational experience have a big influence on their children's attitudes and beliefs about the school. A parent who values education, sees education as an opportunity for successful outcomes and values and respects school culture and the rules is more likely to have a child who feels a sense of school belonging, compared to a parent that grumbles about the school, had a bad school experience themselves, and constantly expressed a dislike towards schools. So therefore, schools should communicate to parents that a sense of school belonging is important. Now, quickly to summarize what I just covered, a sense of belonging is a basic human need, just like the need for food and shelter. It enables the ability to see value in life and to cope with challenges. A sense of belonging makes us feel like there is a community behind us. It can make us feel relaxed and receptive and motivated. A sense of belonging, like so many other non-academic and contextual factors, such as integrity, has a huge impact on classroom learning. Research has unveiled that a sense of belonging is core to academic success. And teachers need to pay attention and make sure our classrooms are inclusive in order to support learning. A sense of belonging is important in our diverse classrooms where students come from all walks of life, backgrounds, experiences. And while we are different, we are also equal and deserving of inclusion and respect. We want to give students a safe and supportive space that enables learning. Bottom line, we all belong. And finally, I wanted to quickly talk about a survey that was done in 2017 by Education Week. And the survey was conducted of 528 educators in the United States. And they said 41% say it is challenging or very challenging to make their students feel like they belong in the classroom. So it's a challenge, particularly when it comes to concerns students experience that include their sexual orientation, their gender, their race, their socioeconomic, ethnic, and disability identities. 80% of those surveyed said that they thought a sense of belonging in the classroom is important for student success, highlighting how integral teachers are to building a positive learning environment and a school culture. And 49% said they need help to find helpful strategies. And therefore, as a community together, we need to build such strategies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Very effective and well-prepared presentation. We really admire your efforts. Thank you very much. The next